Oh, Lordy. Let's see if anybody jumps in here this early morning. I don't get my fingers on the camera there. I always seem to want to do that with this phone. Turn the my old music down. I don't know if anybody wants to hear my old '60s music or not. The old beach music, as we call it. Making an early morning run out to the new NAPA store, as I call it, the old Ford dealership. I've got my guys working on the epoxy floor, I guess you call it. It's a three-part epoxy floor. It has to be put down. They're they did one Thursday night. Of course, they came back last night and it was too soft to. They want to get in there and sand it off and buff it and get all the divots out of whatever mistakes or whatever out of it, and then go back and put a second coat on it tonight or today, and then it takes about 2 or 3 days to get this floor looking right. It looks good now. It looks like and I both kind of made the statement yesterday. Said it looks like you could almost dive into it because it was so shiny and okay, I'm back live again, am I? All right, good. Maybe the connection will stay better on this side of town. I have a hard time connecting on the east side of town with my AT&T line, but it does pretty good on the west side of town. I think the tower must be over there on the western side of town. I don't know exactly where it is, but I always do pretty good with it on that side of town. All right, good. I got a couple people in here now. We're heading over to the Ford dealership, or the new NAPA store. Let me rephrase that. Let me kind of reposition. Let me reposition that phone there so we don't lose it. Hopefully everybody gets a good signal this morning. We'll see. See if I can give you some good pictures to the updates of what we've done. We've done a lot of painting, and like I said, the floor is what's really impressive. We've got the epoxy floor. Then we had a diamond cut and everything, and then after we had a diamond cut, we're putting the epoxy. They're doing epoxy. I think it's a three-part epoxy paint on it, and then they buff it and everything else. It looks really good. Looks really good. I've been really impressed so far with what they've done. We, like I said, hopefully we'll be over there in just a few minutes, and we'll be able to give you some good pictures of what we've done in the progression so far. And we're hopefully we will hopefully we'll have something impressive. It's impressing me so far. I've really been tickled with what all we've done. And excuse me, I kind of got a frog in my throat this morning. I have to get over here and get me a good soft drink out of the fridge and clear my throat a little bit. Seeing everybody's yard sale signs up this morning. Everybody's doing an early Saturday morning yard sale, it looks like. I guess that's the way it is all across America. Saturday morning yard sales. Everybody's selling their junk to give it to somebody else so it can be their junk. And hopefully you can get their junk cheap enough that you can afford to hoard it. That's the way it happens sometimes. So many people across the United States have got way more things than they really need. But that's life. That's life. And here we are coming into the new dealership, or the new NAPA store. And I'll turn this, as soon as I get situated here, I'll turn everything around. We've got all of our new garage doors here, and I hope you'll be impressed. I think it looks really good. It's beginning to shape up and look like a NAPA store now. Let me grab the phone, and I'm gonna, whoops, let me grab it, and I'm gonna reorient. All right, let me see. Now this is, oh, there it is. There's the symbol to turn it around. Okay. All right, now here we are. Let me get out of the car. Here's our empty parking lot. And here is our new NAPA store. I feel like we've done a real good job of it. It's shaping up, and like I said, it's got the blue and the gray, and there's all of our new garage doors up. We feel real good about it. Of course, you can see the new roof, the new paint job on the roof. We painted the roof. We went in and put a rust inhibitor and got it down to like a primer, and then we repainted the roof. Spent a ton of money on paint on the roof, I will tell you that. I'm trying to think how many gallons of paint we used. I think it was, I'm wanting to say 60 or 80 gallons of paint. I can't remember how many gallons of paint it was. At $30-something a gallon. So do the math, it was a lot of paint. But that's what we've got there. And like I said, I'm real tickled and impressed with the way the store's coming along. We no longer have the plate glass look like the old dealership used to have. We've taken all the plate glass and we've covered it up and insulated behind it. And we've got what we feel like is a normal look of a NAPA auto parts store now. We got a place to put our big sign up overhead. Let me see if I can give you a little bit of bird's eye view of what the interior looks like now. Kind of hard to see through this dirty window. Can't hardly do it. It's too much reflection. Maybe I can get it from the other side door. I can't open these front doors because the curing process. But take you over here and see if we can get a picture through this door. And no, it's still going to reflect. Still, well, you still see more reflection than you see anything else. Hey, Chris. I saw your Oklahoma sale the other day. You're buying up all those police cars I saw. And yeah, I like watching your videos. I hope you enjoy ours. But yeah, here is the new NAPA store. Like I said, it's coming along. We're trying our best to trying our best to do a good job with it. Like I said, I'm gonna repurpose that sign down there. I initially thought that I was gonna have to just, I thought it was embossed, and that I would just have to sell it, give it away or whatever, but it looks like now that we'll be able to actually just clear that off and put new vinyl on that and repurpose that sign completely. So I'll be able to save myself $1,700. So I like the sound of that. So we'll do that if we can. Now let me. uh, well, I try to be entertaining somewhat. I'm showing real life situations, Chris, just like you are, and that's what I think people like. I mean, this is real life. This is not anything made up. This is not anything overperformed or anything like that. This is real world. This is what real people do in real time. And here's our lift system we've been using. Boy, this has been worth its weight in gold. I can tell you that, because we've been able to get way up there and do all the trim work and the paint and everything. Haven't shown you as much other painting because it's hard to do all this painting and photograph it at the same time. But I'm gonna walk around to the back side of the building. I can't get in the front because I've got it locked up for the floor guys. They're supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. So we'll see. If you hear an old man running out of breath, that's what you're hearing right now. There's, oh yeah, that lifts, it's the stuff. Here's the back side. Of course, the back side we haven't done much with yet. That's the way the front side did look, until we started working on it. We're gonna have to take it a stage at a time. Running out of money. I guess I ought to get a Patreon account or something and get contributions. Like I see so many. But let me get my keys out here and unlock this padlock. Got a padlocker up here in the back. Got to excuse me for showing you a weird picture right there. Alrighty, got this unlocked. Don't you like this old sink here? If you're an old timer, you'll like that old sink. That's a 50-year-old sink, but I like it. So we're gonna go in here and unlock the doors. There's another good valuable piece of equipment I've got, because I own that. That's my tool cat. For you Bobcat fans, you might be familiar with that. But that's that's an impressive little machine. I love it. Handy. I mow grass with it. Enclosed cab. Air conditioned. Handy, handy, handy. 4-wheel drive, articulating wheels. So I mean, all 4 wheels turn, and it's 4-wheel drive. Oh yeah, I knew you'd like it, Chris. It's down your alley with Bob. Yeah. Let me walk through here. See if you can see the floor a little bit. Oh yeah, now you can see the floor. Of course, you can see the reflection. You actually are seeing the reflection off the floor of my lights up above. That looks like there's something in the floor, but that's actually a reflection. That's how reflective this floor is. It looks like a swimming pool in here almost. It's so pretty and clean and everything. Well, we're hoping to. Oh yeah, I got it down to 77. We're hoping to have a real nice looking, as you can see, it's NAPA blue floor. So oh yeah, I like Bobcat, Chris. I've got a skid steer too. I got a skid steer and a track hoe that I bought. I bought them all new. I was fortunate enough to be able to get some new equipment, so I went ahead and bought I got a new track hoe and a new skid steer. Of course, the newness has gone off of them. I've had the skid steer about 8 years, and the Bobcat, the track hoe, I've only had a few years. I've only had it about 3 years. Oh yeah, yeah, the office. Yeah, right here is my office. I'll show you that. Of course, I haven't done much work to it. It's basically, this is my office, but you can see, like I said, you can see all the, here's where they're starting the buffing and everything. Turn on the lights and you see how reflective that paint is. It looks like, yeah, they are. I think they are too, JC. Yeah, they're buffing them out. They're getting ready to go to another process, But right here, they're so reflective that you can look in and it looks like a swimming pool, and you're seeing the lights from up above, and that's what you're seeing. That's how reflective they are here in the video, as you can see. I mean, there's, yeah, I understand that, Chris. Yeah, I don't get much stuff older than me. If it's older than me, it's wore out. It'd be older than 67. Turned 67 this past Thursday. So yeah, I just had my birthday. We celebrated. My son turned 45, and I turned 67. Yeah, this floor is slick. As you see some of the dust marks on here where we walked in it, but you can see the reflection. You can see, there's my foot down there. You see the reflection of whatever's up above, because it's so, I mean, I don't know, it's like a mirror. It's got a real mirror finish to it. Now this one is sort of a plain epoxy back here. This is the gray. We've put this gray in a couple areas. This is back where the parts room is gonna be. So we didn't go to a lot of pains for that. Of course, then out here, we just got, it's just a work area. Let me unlock this door. They're wanting to come in this side door. And let me unlock this so they can get in and out. There we go. Oh man. Yeah, I'm glad to be able to make it another year. Still in fairly good health for my age. I don't have any diabetes problems or everything else. Just like most guys my age, I'm old, ugly, and overweight. But that's to be expected when you're 67. I'm not going to be winning any beauty contest, that's for sure. Yeah, you'll see. This is the main highway out here, Highway 150. And it's, of course, it's not as busy on a Saturday morning, but regular mornings, good gracious, this road's like a freeway out here usually, which we hope to take advantage of that and everything. Next project, my wife wants me to paint these light poles out here. So I'm gonna have to get these old retro light poles and clean them up and see if we can make them impressive. We're trying to bring it all back to life and everything out here at the old Ford dealership. So far, so good. We've had a lot of compliments from people that live in the area, how much we've improved it. Are you getting some shirts made up, JC? I hadn't been keeping up. I used to be in the graphics business myself. I used to actually manufacture shirts and everything, so I know a little bit about that myself. Screen printing and everything. I used to do what they used to call a dye sub shirt, where you could put any kind of picture or anything else on the shirt. But we did that back in the late 80s, early 90s. I used to do a bunch of that. But here's a good picture of the dealership. I hope this screenshot's coming through good. Yeah, send me a picture of them. Yeah, I've got some guys down this way that do screen printing and everything. You have to check and see what they can do them for. I don't know if you're doing a screen print or if you're doing embroidered or what are you doing. But yeah, embroidered, of course, is the highest. But yeah, we got a. Used to be in the old textile South and everything. Used to have a lot of people that could do those things relatively easy and good for you. Let me crank this machine up here. I'll go out here and let's take this. We'll take this video up a little bit and see what it looks like for everybody. Let me see if I can get the genie. Yeah, those lights are pretty neat. We'll crank up the genie here this morning. Let's take this thing up. Give you a bird's eye view. Now this is the front. This is the front. I'm at the top. I'm gonna try to spin this around here without getting myself funky feeling. Yeah, that back there is the back of the shop where you see the body shop. This right now, that's you're looking at the side of the dealership. I'm trying to turn it around here. Giving everybody a bird's eye view. Let me just cut it off here. I got it shooting straight up here, so I don't want to get. I didn't catch that. Am I moving all the mechanical? I think everything is operational in the. Let me get this down. That tarp's catching the wind. Let me hit my screen there. See if I can. Are you moving all the operations? Oh yes, I am. I am moving all my operations here. I'm gonna put the trucking business and the NAPA, and then we're gonna start the service center for cars here. We're gonna do a NAPA auto service center if we can. But you know, we've got the area. Like I said, this is probably I'd say a good 3 to 4 acres of just paved parking lot, and you can see all the retro lights here that I'm wanting to paint. And then I've got everything ready to rock and roll. Everything's ready to rock and roll here. I guess I better get back down. I've got my main phone I left down in the car. I better grab it. I'll have truck drivers calling me here. So guys, I'm gonna sign off right now. You can get an idea of what I've got. Nice chatting with you this morning. So I'm gonna sign off. I have to really get back to real work. See ya.